Veganary vegan? Okay. Hi, you guys, Koji here at ComplEat.com. This is another episode from the VEGANUARY podcast. We're gonna do this the whole entire month of January, hopefully helping you to transitioning or adopting some more plant-based diet. We're doing this podcast with my girlfriend who has been vegan for a couple years now, and also and also I'm a sports nutritionist, vegan as well, personal trainer. So I've been doing this for a long time now, helping people to increase their performance, get healthier, and obviously here we're just focusing on more on the vegan side of the diet. So it's not necessarily we're gonna talk about only performance or health. We're gonna dig in a little bit of environmental reason and also animal rights. So today we're gonna talk about resolutions. I know a lot of people start a resolution in January, and this is one of the reasons why Veganuary exists. So the whole movement is trying to help people transitioning into a more plant-based diet. So you can obviously sign up to Veganuary on the Veganuary website. It's a 30-day project where you give you like 30 recipes, and they help you to transitioning to build up more in a plant-based approach. So, but today we're gonna do on resolution, why we making resolution and how we stick to it or not. So I'm working in the gym in Pure Gym Brighton Central, and obviously we see in normal times, not now because most of the gyms are closed in the UK, but in normal times we see a lot of people coming to the gym in January with the goal of improving their health or losing some weight, usually because of the December crash, where they did their body to the Christmas period. Usually people started to slack off from in the gym in the months of December, and then a lot of people try to make that up. So people coming back to the gym in January from December, when they start to not coming because of parties and etc., family traveling. But we also see a lot of new people coming in the hope of this year I'm gonna be, a new me, new year, and that's what we're gonna talk about. What's how to create a habit, how to stick to it, and what this New Year's resolution usually end up. So without any further ado, we're gonna jump into it and ask, like, what do you think of people? Why we're making resolutions? Why people make it, and why is it important to make resolutions, or it's not?
Okay, so hi you guys, and New Year resolutions. Don't we love those? We love them so much. Everyone wants to make New Year resolutions. I think it's part of a sort of psychological process, because we associate like New Year with change and like a new cycle, which I think it definitely has a very good connotation, and it has a good psychological effect, but it might also be a little bit tricky for several reasons. First of all, I think this is something that started like a few thousands of years ago. People have been doing like New Year resolutions for many years, and has become sort of a tradition. And whilst it's a very nice positive input, like kickoff of new habits, sometimes what we see is like people trying to do something, then they just, they like it wanes away real quickly, and people don't stick to it. Gym, I think gym it's a great example of it. As you say, like in January it's always full, and then towards the middle of the year starts, people start stopping, stop to go. So it's this, first of all, thousands of years ago people used to do apparently sort of a promise to their gods. Now we do the promises to ourselves, and let's face it, we're not nearly as scary as a god, so it's not that efficient anymore. But I think they are nice. one of the issues, or a couple of the issues that I think they might have is usually we do sort of a bit of vague resolutions, like I want to lose weight, or I want to be healthier, all of those things, or I want to gain weight in some cases, or whatever, which all of those things are very nice, but they're a little bit vague. We don't have like any sort of specific goal that we can look at and see, okay, I'm progressing towards this goal, I'm seeing changes or whatever. We don't usually put deadlines, or so things are so vague that it's really easy to, you know, get lost and forget it and that sort of thing. And also they're not how to say personalized to ourselves, like being healthy or doing this or reading more, or, you know, this sort of vague things might sometimes just be what we think it's nice to do, but it's not very personalized to ourselves. It might not reflect what we actually want to do. Yeah. And obviously that's not gonna be possible to keep after the initial motivation phase fades out. Yeah. We can't just make a consistent effort for something that does not reflect what we want to do. Yeah. So yeah, I think like they're nice, they're awesome for an initial motivation, but we should be careful and try to adapt them to what we actually want to do, look a little bit into it, get prepared, and establish a little bit more specific.
Yeah, that's my job when someone comes to me and they want to start gym or want to improve their health or something, and we have a consultation, then everyone said, like, you know, they have like this vague ideas as also what they want. So like, I'm gonna lose 5 kilos, or usually like losing weight. That's the main issues with beginner comes with. But that's when I really need to dig in why they have this in mind. Do they want to look like before they get a little bit off track, or they want to look like someone else they admire? Is it performance based? Is it look based? Or what's the reason why they want to do it? So I need to really dig in and then find a purpose. So they're gonna give them a little bit more of a more goal orientated rather than just whatever. Because if you don't establish this at the beginning, then it's not gonna have the 100%, but like an 80%. You know, because if you start gym, you might change your mind. Like you might like weightlifting better than cardio, or, you know, like you really digging more into the diet aspect of recovery. So you're gonna obviously discover a lot of new things, and then you might change a little bit, but then you end up getting the results which you wanted in a different way, because you just get really good in diet, or you get really good in weightlifting, and your body's gonna change. So that initial 5 kilo drop what you wanted, you might not getting on the scale, but you still look good because you lose body fat, but you build muscle at the same time. So you might not gonna lose weight on the scale, but your body fat's gonna go down, your muscle mass coming up. So it might change during what you start or why you start something, but it's good to establish like a little bit more specific goal. It's good if you have someone who done it before, like a trainer or like a friend or someone who has done it before and then knows how to do it. And so they can help you with the transition, and also to basically just to help you, like, okay, that's what you need to do, and then it's a realistic goal. It's not going to happen, you know, in 10 days or a month. It might take 6 months or a year, but it's going to worsen, because then it's going to become a habit. And it's going to be part of your life rather than just a 6-week thing. Yeah. Then, you know, you just do this for 6 weeks and then you're done, and you don't have to do anything after all. You need to make this little changes, but the rest of your life. I always say, don't plan for 5 weeks, plan for 50 years. Yeah. So rather do like small things, but the rest of your life, rather than just go get after it and then stop. Because when you stop, it goes everything back to how it was before. I got some statistics here, which says as 12% of new members join in January in the gyms, but 80% will quit within 5 months, 14% will quit before the end of February, which is kind of true. I can tell this for experience. Well, like January is like the busiest month in the gym. Like, there's a lot of people signing up, but you don't see half of them by February. They all drop off. Like a lot of people drops off, and that's when our business is starting to pick up as well around March, because those people who don't drop off, they don't see results, and they really wanna they wanna stay and want to result, and they need help because they realize that they did it wrong, and then obviously a lot of things they do wrong, but I'm not gonna go into it. We just want to talk about why those people drop off in the first place, and who doesn't drop off, the 20%. Why they didn't drop off. So what do you think? What is the reason behind the people drop off?
Yeah, I think, as I said, it's mostly because whether we set, and let me just, because of our theme, I think when you think about changing your diet and mainly doing a big change like becoming a vegan, I think it's very similar to what you said about the gym. I know a few people who tried and they really went into it, and then, you know, a few weeks later they're like, oh, just a little bit of this, just a little bit of that, you know. Because I think we establish goals that are too vague. And as you said, and I think this is really important, we establish sort of random goals that are not part of a plan, of a long-term plan, I mean. And we were talking about this the other day, and I think we plan for so much. For example, if you're going to make a degree, for example, or if you're going to study something, or you make a plan, right, with several short-term goals, like passing this test, having this 80% on that essay or whatever, and passing all the modules in order to achieve a global certificate for that degree in a very successful way. So why don't we do this with our lives, right? We should. It would make all the sense to do this with our own lives, like a long-term plan, and then set up little things that are going to contribute to that plan. And as you said, and I think also very important, those little things can change, or even the end goal can change, because sometimes we might have this idea, I want to become this or do this. And when we start getting into it, we realize, actually, there's something that I did the other day that was so much cooler, so much more fun, and I think I like that more. So we can just adapt along the way and start changing things. And I think people have this idea that, oh, if I don't do it this way, I'm failing, and that's it, not worth it anymore. And I think people have to first establish specific little goals. So every time you achieve a short-term goal, you're going to feel very good about yourself, and you're going to feel like you're succeeding. And at the same time, people we should accept that we evolve throughout our lives. We become different people day by day, right? We learn new things, we know new people, we acquire new knowledge. So it's normal that we change our opinion on things. That's actually good. So we should accept that, you know, our goals might change throughout our path, and that's not a negative thing. It's a very positive thing, because if you accept this, you are opening space to be successful and to become better. So yeah, I think these little things we could start doing in order to become more successful in sticking to a certain goal or a certain change we want to do in our lives. And yeah, I think this is the main thing.
And what do you think, like, the most people drop off in the first months, whether it's gym or anything they try? Because they usually, like, in average, to build a habit, it takes around a month. So if by hitting the month, you should be stick to. Obviously, some habits takes more. Like quit smoking is, you know, it might take years of, like, you still want to smoke sometimes because it's like so addictive. It's so grained into your brain. You still have, like, molecules which is sometimes triggers in, and you still want to smoke if you smell or you're stressed or something. And if something is very easy, like, you know, having breakfast or creating something, you know, or adding one apple to your something is easy, so it takes a couple days. Something is hard, it takes months to build. But on average, if you have like a 1 month target on everything, you should build a habit. I think what people do wrong is they just cold turkey, just switch one day to another, and they go like 100% in. I'll see these gym goers in, and they come like every day, and they train more than us trainers. They just train like crazy, and then you can do this for 1 week. But if you're new to something, and then you train more than someone who's doing this for a decade, then obviously your body's not gonna give up. It's not conditioned for that much of training.
Yeah.
So what I sit down with the client, I always ask them, what's the percentage of that you can come once a week in the gym? And if they say 100% I can come once a week, then okay, we go with it. And I ask the question, what's the percentage, how much sure you strongly feel like you can come to the gym twice a week? And they said like 100% I can dedicate 2 days in the gym per week. And I've asked, okay, what do you feel, how strongly you feel you can do it 3 times? And they say like, I'm not sure, I can make a third one, like a 70%. Then I'll just tell them like, look, let's stick to the 2, because you can 100% comes to 2. And if you build up those 2 days, you're definitely gonna make the third one in like a month's time, because you're gonna start enjoying it, you understand it. But if you're not mentally ready yet, and you just like, okay, maybe even in the beginning, you know you might not get the third day, maybe you do it for a week. Maybe you can, the first week you go 5 times, but then like you're so tired, so in pain, and you're not recovering, the next week is gonna be 2 and then 1, and then by the end of the month you just drop off because you started too hard. So I always ask them, what's like, how strong you feel that the rest of your life you can come 2 times in the gym. If you can do it 2 times, man, it's like, it's twice, it's like 200% better than you did before. So why is it not enough for you? Like, even if you just come once a week and you never been in the gym, that's 100% better than you did before, because you did it then. So your body's gonna change already. Obviously it's gonna be a slower change, but who cares in the long run? And then it's gonna build up to 2 or 3 days. Just make sure you can do it that one. So if you jump into a diet, maybe instead of like, I don't know, if what's your favorite food, but you know it's like a junk food, like a chocolate or something, maybe just instead of cutting out chocolate from your life, just switch to a dark chocolate version, or just eat the chocolate every second day at the beginning, and then every third day, and then bring it down. So just, don't go like crazy on it for a week or months, because it's too much change for your body and your mind as well. Yeah. You can't keep up, because now you have to change your diet, your exercise, your recovery, you get your work. It's January. It's so much change in your mind. It's just too much. You just cannot keep it up. And then the easiest thing to give up is the gym, because you have to work, you have to sleep, and you have to eat. Time, And then if you get all this thing, like, okay, I'm not gonna have time for the gym. Obviously, everyone have time if you really wanted to, but that's the easiest thing to drop off first. And then there's gonna be the diet. Like, oh, I don't have time to prepare my food. So another thing with with clients is, if I like, okay, the third day you cannot make it to the gym, go to the shop, get the big shopping, grocery done, and then you take that third day as preparing your food for the next 3 days. So you know what you're gonna eat. So if you have to decide between gym and diet, like you're preparing food, go for food, because it's way more important than diet. Than exercise at the beginning. So I think you have to prioritize which is more important for you, and then just start slowly.
It all goes back to what we were saying about, for example, yesterday we were talking about not making a dramatic change overnight. And I think that goes into accordance with, is in accordance with what we were talking just a few minutes ago, of setting goals that are, personalized to yourself. And so set up more specific goals, and goals that are more adapted to your personality, your lifestyle, the time that you have, and also something that is not too dramatic in terms of change. It's something that doesn't break with every single habit that you have, because then it's going to be overwhelming, as you said. Even if it was possible in practical terms, psychologically you'll feel that is just too much. So setting up realistic goals and that are adapted to yourself and specific enough that you can see, little incremental changes and progress within short periods of time, so that that will help you to keep going. Something else that you touch upon, and that was really, I think it's really interesting in terms of diet as well, was you were talking about cravings. When you start, for example, when you quit smoking, I believe like a month is perfectly enough. If you do not absolutely touch a cigarette for a whole month straight, that's enough to build up a habit of not automatically picking it up. But you are going to have cravings. If you're going out and everyone is smoking around you, of course it's going to remind you of it constantly. And people smoke everywhere all the time. So you are going to have cravings. But I think we just have to change our mindset and not feel bad by having cravings. And with diet is the same. Mainly if you make a diet change, and vegan is very, very prone to this. If you make a change also based on moral or ethical terms, if you want to break that habit of, eating things that might provoke suffering, for example, or might be bad for the environment. Every time you crave a burger, a meat burger or something, you pass by a restaurant and you feel that smell of McDonald's, whatever you used to eat. Some people actually feel bad about themselves, like, how can I still, after everything I've seen, how can I still? And that just creates one more negative, cycle in your head. That's not going to help. So if you feel cravings, just be okay with it. You've been, eating the same way or performing that same habits for so many years. So it's normal that both your body and your brain are going to be, programmed to want that because it's your normal.
Yeah. So it's also come down to your animal level. Yeah. We also build up in 3 levels of we have our vegetable state, we have animal instincts, and then obviously we have a human on top. So sometimes we always come back to this animal. When we are stressed or in danger, you always switch back to your animal instinct of just fight or flight or survivor mode, which is, it's useful to have ego and then just think about yourself and survival. But we are humans, so we need to think about the consequences what we do with this stuff. So unless you are, life, unless you're a life and death situation, then you can make a better decision probably. And what you said with this the reason, the wrong reason to create a habit or jump into resolution is obviously you see a lot of this the couple most used resolution for a month is you obviously have these fitness challenges to catch to 5K. So in 1 month, from no running at all, you're gonna run a 5K. Yeah. Or you have the veganuary, just 1 month I'm gonna be plant-based and I go back to eat whatever. Yeah. Or the other one, the dry January or dry October. So 1 month I'm not gonna drink alcohol. Yeah. And then it's okay to drink again because my system is clear for a year. After that, I can just blast it with alcohol. So the problem is you do this for 1 month and then usually these people go back to it at some point. Or you have this I have to do 5,000 push-ups in 1 month. And then every day you do, 50 or whatever it comes down to, 100. But the problem is you cannot do 1 push-up and you want to do 50 a day.
Exactly.
Why don't you just spend this month to learn how to do the push-up? Or why don't you just spend it months rather than switching to plant-based diet in one day to another and then just quitting it? Why don't you spend this months to learn about the efficacy and then the environmental and then the diet itself, the health consequences? Why don't you spend this month to learn how to do the push-up, how to build up your diet, or more researching stuff rather than just jump in and do it. So do it in the right way. Why don't you do 500 push-ups in a year? That's a huge difference than what you've been doing before.
Yeah.
Or why don't you just do plant-based diet for a year rather than a month?
Yeah.
Or whatever.
But
after you know how to do it, rather than just try to achieve a goal, which is usually what happens. You drop off because the goal is so high or so hard to achieve.
Yeah.
From one day to another, then you're gonna just drop off or injure yourself or create crazy cravings, or you want to go back to something which is comforting you, just not doing it. Like, oh, why my chest always hurt before it was never hurting, and then develop like different injuries. My shoulders is hurt. Of course, you've been doing 5,000 push-ups in a month where you never done before.
Yeah.
Like even one or so.
And you're probably not even doing it that well.
Probably, yeah. Like 5,000 push-ups for like even a fit person, it's a lot. So you need to do it well. So if you're doing more push-ups, then you have to do correction exercises on your back, because it's a lot of pushing exercise, so you can develop very tight shoulders. So you need to correct your shoulders back with more correction exercises. Yeah. So the more push-ups you do, the more back you need to do. And then your upper gotta get heavy, your lower body not getting the stimulus. So it's better to build it to your routine, like going 3 times in the gym, and every time I'm there, I'm gonna focus on push-up, but I also have to focus on everything else to not get injured and have a complete physique. Same with the diet. If you just switch the meat to veggies, then you're not getting enough protein, and then you don't know. First of all, you're just not getting enough calories. Second, you're not getting enough protein and vitamins and minerals. So if you just do it without research, just to hit something in 1 month, then you're gonna feel like something is off and you're gonna injure yourself or hurt yourself. So what I would do is research. So spend that month to research and do small changes. So it's gonna stick, and you're gonna be smarter about it and not getting injured and overwhelm yourself. I think that's the main issue. And why do you think these resolutions are the most seeked or most coming off? Because they work, right? Like everyone knows they shouldn't drink that much alcohol. Yeah. So they want to balance it out with over drinking alcohol in December, not drinking anything in January. Everyone knows that eating plant-based is pretty healthy. So they want to bring back some damage they make in December by eating just a lot of crap, bringing up their vitamins and minerals with more veggies. Everyone knows that moving is better than not moving. So they want to do this 5K challenge or signing up to the gym or something to compensate the damage again, what you did in December. So, and there always is a lot of resolutions like this, but or reading more, because reading less, it's obviously not as good as reading more. It always depends what you read and what you do and what you eat, but everyone knows that these things are work. So why don't they do it? So I know it was like drinking is not good. I was drinking a lot, but like I said, like, okay, I either do this the right way or I don't do it. So I just quit completely. Yeah. I knew that plant-based is better for me than not, so I just, from now on, I'm gonna do this for 1 month. I know exercise is good, so I train, every second day or so. So I try to, if I know something is work, I'm gonna do it because it's good for me. So why you quit of these resolutions? It shouldn't be a resolution, it should be the way you live.
Exactly.
Right? I'm not saying never drink alcohol or never skip a day in the gym or stuff like this. You have to be reasonable. If you like a glass of wine here and there, drink it. Not gonna hurt you. Yeah. But as long as in moderation, once a month is better than once a week, but once a week is better than every day. Yeah. So bring it down a little bit. It's good for you. Don't just do it for a month. Try to create a habit, or I like to say it, put it part of your life. So the most seek resolutions, they're resolutions because everyone knows they work. Yeah. So try to build into your everyday normal life rather than just do a block of every year and thinking it's gonna work. It's never gonna work. Those people who are coming for 1 month in the gym, they didn't come to the gym for 11 months. What can you do with 1 month? Nothing. It's nothing gonna change. You're gonna hurt yourself. You're gonna quit. You're gonna feel miserable because you failed something.
Yeah.
But you failed. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not just bad for your body, but it also works mentally because you feel less of yourself. You gonna quit.
Exactly.
So I think the most you can do is just do it slowly, built in. If you know you need to change it. Don't wait for the challenges or something like that. You have to.
Yeah, I think you're quite right. I think, again, we're basically just sort of reinforcing this idea that these things should be a part of a plan, and more than just a abstract plan somewhere around health or somewhere around fitness, a life plan. So how would you like to feel every day? Would you like to feel weak, or would you like to feel strong? Would you like to feel kind of normal, or would you like to feel energetic and healthy? So those things, should be a part of your life, as you were saying, and very well. I think you also asked me, why do you think these are the sort of top resolutions every year, top New Year resolutions? And I think that has to do with this, that tells us something. I think it sort of shows that everyone has this unconscious desire to have a better life, to feel better. And therefore, every new cycle, people want to become better by being more healthier. So by being more fit, or by being more, regardless of whether it is through the gym, through weightlifting, or through dancing, or through running, through walking, or whatever, being more time outside, eating healthy. So all of these things are things that we know we should be doing. But again, going back to the beginning of our conversation, I think it's very important that you personalize these general overarching goals to yourself. If you want to go vegan, why do you specifically want to go vegan? If you want to start training, why specifically do you want to start? Is this just health-based? Is it because you want to have a different body? Is it whatever the reason it is, or different reasons together? You just make it yours. And as you were saying, looking into it, do a little bit of research. Nowadays is easier and easier with internet, and so many people that talk about their own experiences. That doesn't mean that your experience will be the perfect fit for me, but it will certainly make me aware of one way of doing things, or some sort of results that one might have or not. So yeah, look into it. VEGANUARY, PETA, One Green Planet, Train Complete, all of this, and many others. All of these are like content sites that will support you to do transitions to a healthier life in several different ways. Either it is through diet, or being more fit, or just, progressively upgrading to healthier habits. And yeah, I think having a plan is really, really important. And having someone that can support you, either it is a personal trainer or a personal advisor, or in a more general way, just following different people that will, give you a sneak peek into different areas of being better in different ways. That's very important than just going randomly into something, because that won't bring you, that might motivate you because it's new and exciting, but after that first phase of motivation, you won't keep dedicated just for the sake of it if it's not something that you really identify yourself with.
Okay, thank you. Speaking of personal training and advice, online coaching and personal training are also available on my website, traincomplete.com. I'll thank you for having this again. Hope this helps, guys. If you need any help, okay, put in the comment section what was your resolution, what failed maybe before, and what you're gonna make this year, or if you make any, rather than just implementing into your life, which we always suggest. So I'll get you tomorrow with another episode of the Beginner Podcast, and train complete, guys. Train complete.